I'm sure that you're all familiar with a song called Three Coins in the Fountain, but I'm sure that none of you are familiar with the story behind the song. So if you will come with me and with Julie Styne to the 20th Century Fox Studios in Beverly Hills, we have been hired to write the very first CinemaScope musical, Pink Tights, to star Frank Sinatra, Marilyn Monroe, and Dan Dailey. And we wrote one of the great scores ever written in the history of a Hollywood musical. I tell you that because you're never going to hear it. Because when this film was about to start, Marilyn Monroe ran off to Japan with some ball player called DiMaggio. Give you an idea how long ago that was. So there we were at the studio with nothing much to do. And one day the door opened, and in walked Sol C. Siegel, the producer, to say, "Can you fellas write me a song called Three Coins in the Fountain?" I said, "I can write you a song called Eh." He said, "Don't be funny. We need a song called Three Coins in the Fountain because the New York office wants to call the film We Believe in Love." I said, "Can we see the picture, please?" He says, "You can't see the picture, please. The picture is all over the lot. They're dubbing, looping, and scoring the picture. You can't see the picture. How about if we read the script?" He says, "You can't read the script because the script's in Italy." "Well, then, could you give us a tiny clue as to what the film's about?" He said, "What's the film about? Three girls go to Rome, they throw coins in the fountain, and they hope they'll fall in love," and he left. Well, he did leave us a title and a clue, so I went to the typewriter. Put the piece of paper in the typewriter. The first line was easy. "Three coins in a fountain, each one seeking happiness, thrown by three hopeful lovers, which one will the fountain bless?" Gave the piece of paper to Mr. Styne. Now, it would take a computer to estimate the various notations it would take to cover those 4 lines, but Mr. Styne, being the great composer he is, began to play. That's nothing much. Fair. Having established that that was the perfect theme for this film, he was 3/4 finished, because that repeats 3 times in the lyric. So he handed back the paper. "You want to know something, Julie? This song is finished. I don't know what else to say. I've said everything I had to say in these first 4 lines. He said, "How about mentioning Rome?" That's fair. 3 hearts in the fountain, each heart longing for its home. There they lie in the fountain, somewhere in the heart of Rome. Now, this song is finished. He said, "Write the bridge." The bridge is the connecting link between the parts that repeat. He said, "Write the bridge." I don't know what to write. He said, "Will you please try to write a bridge?" Well, I've agonized over lyrics in my life, but never like this. I paced. I stared. I finally, in total frustration, lifted the piece of paper and I typed, "Which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless?" He said, "Which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless? Wouldn't you like to rhyme it?" "No, I wouldn't like to rhyme it." He said, "Just like that? Which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless?" I said, "Just like that." And just as angrily he played, "That's terrible." He said, "Of course it's terrible. What am I supposed to do with which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless?" You know something, Julie? This is a typewriter. It's a typewriter. It can only type the same line twice the same way. It's a typewriter. You happen to have a piano. How about trying to help it? Isn't that prettier? And then he said, "This bridge is only 4 bars. I said, "Which bridge is only 4 bars? He said, "This bridge." Well, songs are written in 8-bar sections. Why is he saying this bridge is only 4 bars? "Say, Julie, did you write it correctly?" He said, "What's there to write? Which one will the fountain bless? 2? Which one will the fountain bless? 4. It's only 4 bars. Well, the way they are writing songs nowadays, You have bridges which are 11 1/8 bars, 13 1/4 bars, 49 1/2 bars. Let me hear that bridge again. Which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless? I like it. He said, if you like it, finish it. 3 coins in the fountain. Through the ripples how they shine. Just one wish will be granted. One heart will wear a valentine. Make it mine. Make it mine. Make it mine. At this point, the door reopened and back came Sol Siegel to say, how are you doing? I said, we have a song. We have a song. But if you will give us about 1 hour, we will learn it and we will do it for you. He said, learn it? Didn't you write it? What he didn't understand is after you write a song comes the important work, preparing the song for the demonstration, finding the proper key, the proper accompaniment. He said, look, if you have a song, please let me hear it. We're fighting time. If you have a song, please let me hear it. I turned to Julie Styne. I said, well, let's all hear it. And I sang for the first time. Make it mine, make it mine, make it mine. He said, it's great. Let's go do it for Zanuck. Darrell, the boys have a song. And I sang for the second time to Darrell Zanuck. Make it mine, make it mine, make it mine. Zanuck said, it's sensational. Will you make a demonstration record? I said, me make a demonstration record? Me, you got to see to believe. He said, who can we get to make this record? I said, well, Sinatra is walking around here getting $250,000 for not making a picture. How about if I ask him? He said, would you? I said, fine. Say, Frank, we have just written a song for the studio, and they wanted me to make the demonstration record. He said, you? That's what I thought. Would you do it? He said, sure. When? Tomorrow? Fine. I raced to the music department, to the office of Lionel Newman. I said, Lionel, are you going to have any musicians around here tomorrow afternoon? He said, quite by accident. Tomorrow afternoon I will have 60 men here. We are scoring the captain from Castile. I said, do you think you can whip up an orchestration? He said, I'd be happy to. The next day, Frank Sinatra came out to the studio. Julie Styne took him to the piano, taught him the song, and the three of us sauntered over to the sound stages. We opened those massive doors, and there they sat, all 60 of them, ceiling to floor, door-to-door orchestra. Sinatra said, what the hell's that? I said, Frank, that's a 60-piece orchestra. He says, I can see it's a 60-piece orchestra. What the hell are they doing here? I said, Frank, they happen to be here. They happen to be here? They happen to have an orchestration in my key? Frank, they happen to have an orchestration in your key. But if you'd rather do it with Julie Styne at the piano, I'll have them take 5. He said, them take 5? It'll take them an hour to get out of here. Let me hear the orchestration. And that's when the magic started. Lionel Newman raised his arms and he brought in the strings. And then he brought in the harp, the water. Frank Sinatra went on to record the song. It became the title theme of the film. It went on to win the Academy Award. It went on to become the #1 song and the #1 picture in the world. Now, if this is not enough happy ending for you, we have what is known as an epilogue. During all this excitement, 20th Century Fox forgot a small detail. They forgot to make a deal for the song. I'm not sure you totally understand what I've said, so I'll explain it. It means that we own the #1 song and the #1 picture in the world. And the door burst open and back came Sol Siegel to scream, fellas, we're in great trouble. We forgot to make a deal for the song. I said, that's right, you're in great trouble. He said, you're going to have to give that song back. I said, no, we're not giving it back. He said, you cannot own the #1 song and the #1 picture in the world. Be reasonable. I said, let me talk to my partner, please. You know something, Julie? Fair is fair. If it weren't for Sol Siegel and Darrell Zanuck, we never would have written the song. And being the decent chaps we are, we gave back half the song. So from this day hence, whenever you hear,
Make it mine.
Half is ours.
Make it mine.
50%. Make